Hi guys, why am I wearing my shades in the middle of winter? Because Paper Cutz has asked me to try out their new fluorescent cardstock, and man, is it bright. Let's take a look. So Paper Cutz have very kindly sent me both some cardstock and some paper in this range, and if you can see just how fluorescent it is here, it really is bright in real life. So both the paper and the cardstock comes with colour on one side and plain white on the back. And today I'm going to look at how it both prints on a laser and inkjet and cuts in a cutting machine to see how we would be able to use this in various crafts and printing projects. If you want poster printing, obviously you want to go for something punchy as your subject, so something like a band poster would be amazing. This works on the neon paper and cardstock, best in black and white. So we're going to change this background colour here to white. And the same for here. And then I am just going to make sure that everything other than the white sections are true black. And they weren't. So we're just going to move that down there by selecting all on the page and then just dragging it right down into this lower right corner. Now, obviously, Canva has got so many different templates. I am just showing you how you can do your own. You could also import your own images in and make use of Canva's tools. So if you were to import an image, you can remove the background. And we then have this base player here. And if you go over to edit and then have a look at the effects panel, you can either select duotone, which you could obviously just go for a black and white, like so. Or if you wanted something that's a bit more stylized like this, if you go back to edit and then have a look at apps and click see all, one color where you can obviously just block this out and then you could just have it popped into black. That works quite well there. But I'm going to keep these guys here. And then you can obviously just change out all of the details that you need and add in any extra elements. And we are then going to test printing on my laser printer. And for testing in colour, I found this really cute do good sign here, and I'm going to probably go for a neon orange that we're going to print this on. So I've removed the background colour. It was originally this orange here, but because that's what we're going to print on, I don't need it. And we're going to see how that prints. I'm curious to see whether or not the yellow and things are going to print okay over the top, and I'd like to see what the effect is. So let's have a look at our posters. If we start with the laser poster itself, you can see that this has turned out amazing. For the settings, I asked it to print in text, which is generally higher quality, and I told it that it was cardstock, as that's obviously what I'm using. And hopefully you can see it looks really vibrant, it's really eye-catching. So it is perfect for designs that you want to be noticeable straight away, and it saves on the costly printing for neon papers and fluorescent papers that you can get at most print houses. You can do them in-house perfectly with a laser printer. Now, unfortunately, the inkjet didn't fare so well, and this is why I do these tests so that you can see yourself. If I give you a close-up there, you can see that because of the coating to make this fluorescent, the ink hasn't actually been able to grip because it's water-based. So if I show you here, although it is dry and it's not leaving any marking, the colours themselves, other than a slight smudge of black, haven't really shown up. But if you have a laser printer, then as you've just seen, it's perfect for printing on that. My laser printer is only black and white, but because the black has worked so well, there is no reason that the colour wouldn't work just as vibrantly. And because of the full coverage, hopefully you can see there, it means that even colour designs would work perfectly too. So now let's have a look at how this stuff cuts. Using Canva and obviously Silhouette Studio, I've just created some simple bottleneck tags here, and I'm now going to print and cut them to see how this cardstock and paper holds up to being cut on a cutting machine. Now, as always, you will need to have a play around with your settings. I'm going to probably just go for the standard cardstock silhouette preset for this one. also mocked up some price tags, which would be good for obviously in-person selling or craft fairs, and to show you how great the printout is and how cleanly it cuts. They can obviously be placed down just easily like that on your selling table. And if you want to make a real impact, then how about making some swing tags for your clothing? Obviously, you could add the details on, such as washing, instructions, sizes, or if you just wanted to keep this plain, you could just have a thank you and then your logo and business name at the top. This would be really eye-catching just on shirts, and it would definitely help with branding. Now, I'm a little in love with how this has turned out here. So obviously you can personalize it and make it your own. And because of the fluorescent color, this would look great for summer parties or for cocktails. And if you wanted to have something a little bit different, how about using it for table numbers? This would look amazing, especially if you are having a summer soiree and you've got all of these beautiful bright fluorescent and neon colours going together in your scheme. So I hope that you have enjoyed this look at the new Paper Cutz neon range. It really is super bright. Unfortunately, the camera's not showing up quite how vibrant it is in real life, but if you saw the sign for that up somewhere, it would definitely catch your eye. And I love the fact that you're able to personalize your gifts, and this would be perfect for obviously weddings, birthdays, anything that you want to inject a little bit of fun into. If you want a tutorial on how to make these, then drop a comment down below and I will make sure to get back to you. So some tips to remember when you are printing on this. Obviously, you can only use a laser printer. We've already discussed it. It doesn't work with an inkjet because of the finish on, because of the coating on the neon cardstock and paper itself. You also need to be aware that the reverse is white. This means that when you are scoring, you will have a bit of white showing through. It's not really all that visible. And to be honest, it makes a nice contrast where the neon is so vibrant. Just having this clean slash of white through looks quite eye-catching. It cuts really cleanly. The one thing I would say though is to have a play around with your settings. I started with cardstock and in the end I ended up having to up it to a force of 29 instead, but I only went for a single cut because I did find on some of my trial runs that when you go over the same bit again and again, it kind of tears off the coating a bit, and obviously we want a nice clean finish. So I would love to know, what would you use this neon paper and cardstock for? Drop comments down below and I will be sure to get back to you. As always, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. A great big thank you to Paper Cutz for sponsoring today's video and for supplying me with this amazing neon range. I can't wait to see you all next Friday for our next crafty video. Bye!